In episode 7, I reviewed Mobius, Empire Rising on the PC, and while I'm always interested in the evolution of what I like to call the graphic adventure, there was one other more important reason I felt to review the game, and that was its creator, Jane Jensen. Jensen also made one of the only Sierra game franchises I ever really followed, Gabriel Knight. Now, the past few years seems to have been an age of remakes and digital ports of older games. I mean, I reviewed 2 such games. Episode 2, I did DuckTales Remastered, and in Episode 5, I am not going to repeat that title. I did that 3DS Castlevania game that ended up on the PS3. So why not another one? Gabriel Knight, Sins of the Father's 20th Anniversary Edition is a digital remake of the original game put out in 1993. For those not in the know, you follow Gabriel Knight, New Orleans native and book writer non-extraordinaire. Gabriel is trying to figure out ideas for a book he's writing and becomes intertwined with a police case dubbed The Voodoo Murders. I grew up playing LucasArts-style graphic adventure games, so I was used to lighthearted comedy and cartoonish animation and funny storytelling, that sort of thing when it came to graphic adventures. I had no clue what I was in for in 1996, and with this version of the game, it just keeps getting freakier. This game explores a not often used subject of the paranormal, voodoo. The integration of voodoo, along with the storytelling, really showed that graphic adventures were not relegated to funny animations or ridiculous plots. Forbidden love, detective work, and heart-pumping danger are all a part of this game, and I'd say the story is the best part of the game that's aged the best. The remake was also a chance, at least according to Jensen, to redo a lot of the backgrounds that haven't aged so well and give them a better New Orleans flair to them. You can really see it in the designs of St. George's bookstore, the front of Madame Casino's house, and the front of the police department, when it doesn't have a dead crow in the front that's been beaten to death with a tire iron. In fact, this game more closely follows the novel than it does the original game in terms of extra puzzle solving. Yes, I own the book. To make things slightly easier, the clickable item revealed via the space bar makes its return from Mobius. However, the game itself isn't quite a click-for-click puzzle recreation of the original. Some things will be in slightly different places, and there are some new puzzles that have been added to the script. I also noticed that access to certain places has been changed to make sense to the story's timeline. For instance, I couldn't go to Gran's place until somewhere around day 5, when more of Gabriel's lineage had been revealed. So I went through Nostalgia Lane once again with this remake. But it wasn't all roses and skipping through parks. One of the bigger disappointments that I think people will notice is the lack of the all-star cast that the original had. Tim Curry, Mark Hamill, Leah Remini, Michael Dorn, none of them have returned for the remake. Now, I understand why this happened, and the new cast here is actually pretty good, although Gabriel's voice is a little jarring at first. But I think those who know the history of the game will probably complain that the old cast was better. And despite the fact that the whole game looks new, it really isn't new. Veterans of the original, even with the new puzzles, will blow through this game in a matter of hours, and that's even with going through all the dialogue. Through all the flash and bravado, it's still a game from 1993. Even though I loved playing it, There are quite a few issues in here that may push new buyers away. So before Pinkerton Road decides to put a half-dead chicken in my office, I guess I better ask the question. Is the 20th anniversary of Gabriel Knight's Sins of the Fathers worth your cash? The Gabriel Knight remake is priced at about $20 on most major digital outlets, and I think it's asking a bit much for a game that really hasn't changed much. Even with the facelift, the extra puzzles, and a lot of special stuff, including interviews, I have trouble even putting $15 on this game. It feels like a $10 game on the PC, and with the game eventually hitting Android and iOS devices, I think that's going to be the eventual price tag there. $20 is a lot for a game that mostly has a virtual facelift. But I really want to have hope for this series. Activision recently revived the Sierra brand for games like this, and hopefully this is a push for a remake of Gabriel Knight 2. And a fixed version of Gabriel Knight 3. Now, there is another problem with this game, but it's mostly a personal one. See, because of all the voodoo and hoodoo and all that stuff and the whole underground network thing, I keep looking to my window over here thinking that there's a guy on the outside pounding on a drum, sending messages. Thankfully, nothing's happened, and I've been lucky so far, but